guys, and welcome back to another video. It is yours truly, Gabby, one half of a Tootsie Twin. And as you can tell from the title of the video, your girl got a story time for you. It's a good ass story time too. You know why? Because it's about my ex-boyfriend robbing Dollar Tree. Almost robbing Dollar Tree. Let me correct myself here. Almost robbing Dollar Tree. So this is how the story begins. The summer 2016. Everybody had a lit ass summer. I know I did. Well, except for that robbing part, but we'll get to that. So this was the summer of 16. I was working two jobs. I was working at a supermarket and I was working at Dollar Tree. So I met him at the supermarket, and this was around my training time. To be honest, you should not date anybody at the workplace because you don't shit where you eat. That's what my mother told me. But who really listens to their mother the first time? Did not listen to my mother the first time. So I saw this guy there. Mind you, I liked the way he looked. He was tall, he was dark skinned, and he had a nice smile. I just thought he was just so dreamy, and I was just like, I gotta say something to him. During my training, mind you, what is this, like my second day there, and I'm just like, I gotta go talk to bull. So after they finished showed us how to use the registers and stuff, I walked up to him and I asked him for his number, because mind you, when I walked in, he was looking at me and I was looking at him, and we made eye contact. So I'm just like, all right, boom, that's step one, we made eye contact. Step two, I'm talking to you, I'm asking you for your number, you not denying me, you straight up gave it to me off the bat. So boom, step two, I knew you liked me from then too. So I was a little hyped too, and I was texting him and stuff. We was getting to know each other. And I found out that he was Haitian, and I was just like, I've never dated a Haitian before. That's a lie. Now, after him, yeah, I dated a Haitian, but before him, never dated a Haitian before. So I was just like, I never dated a Haitian before. This is so new to me. Point. He spoke Poppin' Creole, and he was Haitian, and I was just like, oh, I hit the jackpot. At the time, I was thinking I hit the jackpot. But as we're texting and we're getting to know each other, he tells me he has a record, like a felony record, and I was just like, I mean, that's okay, that's your past, I can't judge you off that. He said he had 3, and I was just like, I was young, I was just like, it's okay, we're just getting to know each other, it's no big deal. So that whole summer we just hung out together. I got my car that summer too, so we was like both back and forth going to see each other. We went to movies, we went to dates. It was just lit for me. But something happened that we kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't really remember why we slowed down a little bit, but we just slowed down a little bit. Like, we started seeing each other a little bit less than how I used to see him like 3 days out of the week. I just end up seeing him like 1 day out of the week, or not at all that week. So one day I had a shift at Dollar Tree, and it was the closing shift, of course. I was going home with this girl. Well, I was going home. I was walking to my car with this girl. And at the end of the night, my particular Dollar Tree took all the cash that we made that day and dropped it in the deposit box instead of like those brick, it's not called brick, it's brink. Those brink trucks that come driving by and they pick up the money and they do whatever with it. We didn't have that for some reason. Don't know why, but we didn't have that. So that's, the manager usually drops the money off at night, and we do that every night. And apparently either somebody that worked at that Dollar Tree or somebody just was paying close attention that night must have thought that the other girl had the money. While I was walking to my car and she was walking up, she was going to Walmart waiting for her peoples to come pick her up. While I was walking to my car and I was on the phone. Don't know who I was talking to, but I was on the phone. And then all of a sudden I hear somebody running. So I turn around and I see him running towards her, and I say something, and then she like screams and she jumps back, and he's like, I don't know what he said to her. She just jumped back and she like dropped her purse, and then he grabbed it and then he dipped. And then I walked up to her. I'm like, yo, are you okay? And she was like, he told me that he was gonna kill me if I didn't give him my purse. So then she just dropped the purse and all of that. And I was like, oh my goodness, do you have your phone? Like, I was just like, do you want me to stay with you? She was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna call the cops right now, blah, blah. First of all, I didn't leave her because that was scary as hell. Sis, you just got robbed and you're telling me to leave you alone. I am not. So I stayed with her for like a good 30 minutes until her peoples came and the cops came, and then I dipped. And then I got home that night and I was like so sad, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I just felt so traumatized. I've never seen something like that before. So I called him and I was telling him what happened, and then he was like, oh damn, are you okay, babe? And I was just like, yeah babe, I'm fine. But it was just like, how could they do that to her? Like, people just really ruthless. Like, why are you robbing people? And he asked me how much money do we usually drop off in the deposit box. And in Dollar Tree, don't let that store fool you. You could easily buy one thing to 10 things, and that's already $10. $10.06 if it's like a non-food item, so, or $10.08 depending where you at. So I told him that we'd be having like 2,000, 3,000. The most we've ever had to drop in the drop box was $5,000 cash. And he was just like, oh word? And I was like, yeah, but, and I'm trying to explain to him how I felt. Boom, cut me mid-sentence, was like, we should rob your job. And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, we should rob Dollar Tree. And I was like, you're joking, right? He was like, no, I'm dead serious. He said, make sure you have the money in your hands, so when I run up on you, you don't have to be scared because you know it's gonna be me. And I was like, I'm not about that life. I'm not about to help you rob my job. This is where I work. And like, even if I wasn't working there, I'm not about to help you rob a facility. This was not Bonnie and Clyde. And he was like, you don't know what I've been through. I had to fight to feed my family. My mom was a single mom. My dad just came back in our lives. And I was just like, boo, I understand that. But don't you want to don't you not want to relive that lifestyle? Like, I was just trying to explain to him, like, I'm not about that life, and I don't want you to be about that life anymore either if you want to continue this with me. And he wasn't trying to hear that. So that's when we really started falling off. Like, we barely spoke to each other. Since then, I have never seen Bull ever since. I hope he's doing well, because that is not a lifestyle I wouldn't wish on anybody. I would not want you to rob to feed your family. Like, that was my summer 16 basically. It was lit up until August came. He started acting crazy with this let's rob your job scenario. I'm not about that life. He was a real life Zoe. I'm not a real life Zoe like that. He was a real life Zoe. I was far from a Zoe. I was still like, I was fresh out of high school on top of that. I was fresh out of high school. I was like stepping into the world, trying to figure out like what's up, and he just gonna throw this at me like, let's rob your job. And I was just like, okay. But this is the story time. I hope you guys like it. Comment down below if you have a crazy story time, or comment down below if you just want to say something nice to the Tootsieetwins. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and you know what's next. Follow your shorty on Instagram. I post semi-daily, so make sure y'all go check out my Instagram page. And all right, bye.